What is going on, guys, and welcome to Bootstrap tutorial. In this video we're going to talk about wells and alerts in Bootstrap. So if I would create a div and if I would give it a class, and if I would say that the class name would be well over here like this, you can see that the Bootstrap is creating a well for me over here. So if I just make it bigger, you can see that this is actually going to be spanning all across the screen like this from one side to another one. And obviously we can over here place a paragraph, let's say over here, and I could say hello world, right? Something very simple like this. So this is going to be a well. Now wells actually come in three sizes. So over here, if we would write well, and we're going to write well small, you can see that this is going to be the small well. And if I'm just going to copy this, let's say 2 times, and over here I'm just going to say that this is going to be medium, and over here this is going to be large. So you can see how the sizes of the wells are changing, and by default they come as medium. So over here, if I'm going to create another well over here, and I'm just going to say that the class again is just going to be well without no size here specifically, and here I'm just going to place a paragraph and I'm going to say hello world. You can see that this is exactly the same well as over here, and that's how they come in default size. Now let me show you another thing, how the wells are spanning across the columns. So you can imagine if I would create here a div, and I'm going to say that this is going to be container like this, and over here within that container we're just going to create a one row with 2 columns, and I'm just going to say div class, and this is going to be a row, and over here we're just going to create a let's say columns, 2 types of columns. So div and class is going to be column. Let's say over here we're just going to say extra small, let's say 4, so it's going to be spanning across the 4 columns. And over here this one, it's going to be a div, and we're going to say that this is going to be a class, and this is going to be a column, and this is going to be extra small, and it's going to be spanning across 8 columns. So obviously if we would place the same well, they would obviously just take the size of a column. So if I say copy this and just paste it over here, and over here I paste it again, so you can see what's happening. And basically they are sitting exactly how the columns would be actually suggesting that. So that's another thing about wells. Now let's switch to alerts, and now let's cover alerts in Bootstrap. So over here, if I would create a div, and if I would say the div has a class of alert, over here like this, then over here you can see that the alert would appear. However, we would need to add these, let's say, classes to alert. So one of them could be, let's say, alert success, and you can see right away how it has this like greenish background, right? So it obviously would work the same way if we would go over here, and if I would copy this, and if I would say that, let's say that this is going to be success, and this is, we're going to make info, and here we're going to say that this is going to be warning like this, and the last one is going to be danger, right? Something like this. And if we would just change it around, and if we say that this is alert info, this is going to be the class, and this is going to be a class of warning. So this is, you can see like this yellowish, and over here we're just going to say that this is danger, right? So this is what we would get with alert classes. And that's how it works. Now we can also place a link within a alert. So let's say that I have over here this alert danger, right? But if I would place a link within a alert, so let's say I'm just going to delete this danger for now and actually create a link, and I'm just going to say that href is going to be a hashtag over here, and I would also need to add a couple of classes just to show you how it works in actual alerts. So over here I would need to create a class, and the class would be a alert link, and then you can see that it's right away going to style it accordingly, right? So now I have alert link, and now I can see how the link is going to appear. So if I'm going to say click this now, you can see that it's appearing a bold over here and has this more reddish color, right? Click me now, and just to show you how it would look like if we wouldn't have that. So now I can see that now I have this alert link class here within this div, but let's say that if I would just get rid of it, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete this. So now you can see how it appears like a typical normal link. So if we would again add this class alert link like this, alert link over here like this, now we would have this little bit bolder and a little bit differently styled link over here. Now we can also add a alert dismissible. So let me just create a new div, and over here I'm just going to say class, and I'm going to say alert, and I'm going to say that this is going to be a class alert info over here like this. So this is going to be my class, and over here, if I would create a link again, but if I would use a little bit different classes, I can actually make it dismissible. So let me just make some more space, and over here I'm just going to write a link, and again we're just going to write it as a hashtag over here like this. And the next thing that we would need to do is actually add a class, and the class would be close like this. And after that we would have to add a class data dismiss like this, dismiss, and the value should be alert like this, alert. And after that we would have to create another class area label. So area label like this, and that should have a value of close. And over here what we're going to do is we're just going to create this little times X icon, so you can see what's happening, right? And obviously if I'm just going to create some type of, let's say, paragraph over here, I'm just going to say that this is a paragraph, this is a paragraph, so you can see what's happening, that I have this dismiss. So I can just click and dismiss it over here, and you can see it disappears. And again, the syntax would be a class over here, a data dismiss, which would be equal to alert, and over here it's going to be area label close. Now what we can also do is we can have like this little thing of like fade in. So over here I'm just going to copy this for now. I'm just going to say copy this over here, and we're going to copy this, and we're going to create another alert box, and just to show you how it would work with a fade in. And what we would need to actually do, we actually would just need to add one class over here with alert, where we have the classes, and the class would be fade in. And right now what would happen is I'm just going to refresh it, so we have two of them. So you can see that this is our fade in, and I'm just going to write in I am fade in. All right, because this is going to be our fade in alert. So I am fade in. Let's say alert. So now obviously if we press it over here, self-explanatory, as you're pressing, you see it takes a little bit longer time. This one has just gone right away. And again, this is pretty much done by default. This is going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.